Good afternoon guys and welcome back to the continued theme of what's in the bag. We've got mid-handicap Dave here and we are going to reveal what are under his iron head covers.
Oh, but what head covers they are.
He has brought those for show. So we're talking wedges today guys. We went through my wedges, we talked about obviously what kind of bounces and what kind of grinds I had. Dave's got slightly different to me, which is what you'd expect from a mid-handicapper. Again, he hasn't really ever been fitted for wedges. So he's gone with wedges that he's bought, he's gone with a set, so he's gone 60, 56, and then he's got a 50. Then he's changed his iron set, which is now knows his pitching wedge is 44 degrees, so there's a big gap there, and then there's a gap.
Wedge.
He's got a lob wedge, the trusty lob wedge.
Which I don't use.
It's different numbers between each loft, so it's then very hard to do Dave's gapping. So when you think about it, this area of the game we're really wanting to focus on what gapping you have, so we should be able to have a lot of options for different shots. Can I flight it lower, can I flight it higher? Because Dave's gapping is from 60 to 56 is 4 degrees, then it jumps to 6 degrees down to 50, then 6 degrees down to his pitching wedge. Very hard to control. So first up, we've got Dave's pitching wedge. We're going to go. That's controversial. I'd have gone the other way, but Dave's gone.
You'd have gone from the lob wedge down.
Dave's gone for his pitching wedge. So let's have a look at your pitching wedge, Dave.
Came with the set.
Came with the set. So a nice Apex DCB, part of his set.
Dare say the face needs cleaning.
So let's see if it does need a clean. It's not too bad, Dave. Again, regular shaft in here. It is 80 grams, so quite light, which is which is good for Dave's swing speed. Matches in with his set, so he's being fitted for those. Those are the ones he got. So then when we go into his wedges, again, shafts are slightly different, and we'll get into that. We need to think about what wedge setups you want to have. Do you want to have the matching shafts as your irons,
or do you want to make?
So again, heavier shafts, what we're going to be able to do is like the ones that I've got, S400s. We don't have to make as much swing, there's more speed in them, you have a little bit more feel potentially. For other people, they feel too heavy, they don't feel like they have any control. So trying those different options, which is what we'll do, Davey's going to have a fitting, is we'll try different options. We've got some graphite shafts, we've got some heavier shafts, we've got some lighter shafts. So going through them and seeing which one suits best. Dave might be better with graphite, he might not be.
So would you ever be making a full swing with any of your wedges?
No, and that's a very valid point that Dave raises. We're not hitting full shots. Pitching wedge, I might hit a full shot, but underneath that, 50, 56 and 60, we wouldn't be hitting full shots, so it'd be more control. But then again, if one shaft's heavier than the other, it might go further than you think. So your 60, if that's got a heavier shaft than your 56, you might find for the same swing, goes a similar distance.
I wouldn't dare be using a 16 in your company, Chris.
That's what I like to see. So Dave hit us one with this. So again, he knows the feel off this face. It's very similar to his irons. One thing that he did mention to me, that sometimes with the pitching wedge, because of its stronger lofted, it can come off a little bit fiery.
So that far.
Let's go for the far flag, and then we'll have a look at the next one. Again, a great shot.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
To a foot. Right, next on up.
To an average, surely.
The A wedge, Craftsman Golf. Nice black crocodile head covers.
Cost a fortune. However,
in here we have got a Cleveland VMG RTX 3.
Now I know the face on that won't be clean.
50 degrees, 10 degrees of bounce. Club face. Again, not too bad, Dave.
You see, we have different levels of what you consider clean. I've looked at yours and yours are absolutely shocking, whereas I can see dirt in the bottom 4 grooves there.
Someone must have borrowed mine then. So 50 degree now, so it's a 6 degree gap, which is not too bad. I would prefer a 4 degree gap because then it's a little bit more uniform, but that's where Dave's got to think now. Does he want to add in a 48 degree and a 52 and a 56 and a 60, because that might take something out of the top end of his bag that then doesn't fit. So he doesn't need another option of a wedge. So we need to then think, what do we do when we get down to the next 2 clubs? So again, for this one, Dave uses this around the green, can be used for a bumper and run. He knows the feel off this. He's had this for a while now, haven't you, Dave?
I've had these for a long while, the Cleveland, thinking probably as long as that M1 driver.
So again, a long time now, probably a good 6-7 years.
Mm.
So this one now could be used for that back flag, but we'll see which one feels easier. So again, a good shot, round about 4 feet, so we'd take that all day long, but the pitching wedge was closer. So again, a club that he's used to, he's happy with the 50 degree. Oh, I've picked the wrong one up. How could I get the wrong one when it has a big S on there for Sam Wedge? Underneath this is a Mizuno ES21, 56 degrees with a 10 degree bounce. We can see we've got a big sole here, a lot of relief there. Again, a club that Dave's had probably for about a year now.
Yeah, maybe just, yeah, maybe
and this is
longer.
And this is a perfect example, is if I show you now Dave's irons, regular shaft 80 gram KBS, so that's what he was fitted for with his irons. But then when we go into his wedges, which he wasn't fitted for, let's get Dave off, high rev 2.0, 115 grams W, so a wedge shaft in the KBS as well, so totally different, so a lot heavier there in comparison to his pitching wedge, so he's going to have to get used to that.
But it's great for getting out of sand.
But it's great for getting out of sand. In comparison, we'll let Dave hit that one. We've got, I'll tell you what, you've got the full array of KBS shafts here today, Dave.
So, thinking of getting sponsored just by KBS.
We've got the Tour V 125 gram KBS shaft. So I'm not 100% sure if that's actually just a wedge shaft or if that could be one that goes in a set. So 125 gram is quite heavy, but then it goes down to 115. So we'll look at the final one, which also has got KBS. Consistent.
Yeah, they had a matching set there.
So
I did have a matching set of 3.
So we did have a matching set. So before Dave hits this 56 to the shorter flag, we'll reveal the lob wedge in here, which was, like Dave said, a matching set. So RTX 3, 60 degrees, 9 degrees of bounce. Again, we can see that it's been a club that Dave's had for a while. Face check. Again, there's a bit of dirt in there, Dave. But shaft wise, like Dave said, that fits in nicely. KBS Tour V, 125 grams. So those two match. However, we did obviously change for this one because Dave did like the Mizuno. Just throws it a little bit out with weight.
So would you recommend that you went either for the same type of wedge in the 3 wedges, or the same shaft, or would you just fit each one separately?
So I would see uniform all the way through, so we'd potentially look at getting the exact same as what is in your irons, because that will have been done for your club head speed, for everything. So then we'd be able to see, right, does it feel easier if I just have the same shaft throughout the bag, or does it feel better if I've got some heavier shafts because I'm only playing half shots and delicate shots?
Right.
So we have to figure that out, which is what we'll do when we do the fitting. We're going to be looking at how important the shaft weight is. So 56 here, we're just going to hit this one nicely now towards the first flag, so the one in the bowl. See there, Dave's ran that down nicely. Just ran away a little bit more than you thought.
Yeah, it was a bit of a drop kick. I didn't take any notice of any wedge lessons I've ever had in my life.
Didn't pay attention. Classic Dave. Good news, guys. Next week we'll be looking at why Dave's drop kicking it. So we'll be in the next couple of weeks we'll be looking at that. So keep an eye out for that. We will be giving Dave a check-up lesson. Right, so 60 degree now. Nicely done. So a little bit
James Robinson would say, and the closest one is for a pint.
We was going to the back flag there, Dave. So Dave said there, so watch out guys, we're going to be looking at Dave's technique there. It was pretty good. We had a couple of drop kicks, so we want to address that, because before having a wedge fitting, there is no point going in there with a bad technique, going in, you're not sure how you're hitting it, because all that's going to happen is you're going to be fitted to wedges that you might still not get on with. It's the same as obviously going for a driver fitting. you're going to be fitted to a swing that you might not be working on, something that's then not consistent, and they're just going to fit you to anything. So Dave's going to get fitted, but we're going to have a lesson in the next coming weeks, and then to follow that, Dave is going to be fitted. We're going to be fitting him to the new Callaway Jaws wedges that we have in stock here at Waterfront.
Don't tell the wife.
I'm not going to tell anybody, except for all the fans. So if you are interested in a fitting, do get in touch. You can come down here, we can go through a wedge fitting, see what setup suits you. Hopefully that's given you an insight into Dave's wedges. Dave has started playing different courses a lot more now, so he's not just playing at Garforth, he's playing different courses. So
I'm resting between contracts.
He's resting in between contacts. So when we do go to fit Dave, we will be obviously looking at getting him a setup that matches in a little bit better for different courses. So having different grinds, having something with maybe a little bit more bounce and a little bit less bounce. So if you're off links golf and you're off tight lies, you've got an option. If you're playing Parkland like here, you've got some good options. That's something that is all in a fitting. So guys, hopefully you've enjoyed that. So comment below if you have been fitted for some wedges recently. What have you gone for? And as for now, we will see you later in the week.
See you soon.